What's up, Assassins? Mark here, and we are tackling our first Kofun, and it is in the Izumi Coast, and it's called the Old Kofun. And these are pretty fun. These are pretty much the only sort of adventurous, environmental, puzzly aspects of the entire game. And like I said, this is the first one you'll come across. It can be a little tricky, but I'm going to show you how to get through it quickly, but also how to get out of it. I think exiting this thing could actually be really confusing. So the first thing we're going to do is head into this room. Let's go ahead and loot this chest, and then we're going to crawl under this space here. I'm curious what you guys think of the game so far. I want to know in the comments if you're impressed, you're not impressed. By the way, I light these candles as I'm going, not all the time, but I use them as kind of markers so I know which hallways I've gone down, and it's because sometimes you have to loop back in these Kofuns, and it's good to know to sort of mark where you have been. So just a little tip there. Now let's head down these stairs. You're going to get into this room here with a body of water. So what we're going to do is we're going to grapple across, look for that prompt up top here. Go ahead and jump and hit L1, and while you're still swinging in motion, hit X, and then we'll work our way down to the bottom of these stairs. And these can be pretty confusing running around and getting lost. So take your time. By the way, that chest, that is not the final treasure. What we want to do, those are the stairs we came down. We want to squeeze through this crack. We're looking for a legendary chest that's going to have a legendary item in it. Now, in this room, it looks like you'll be able to crawl somewhere. What you want to do is hold the X button and dive into the water, and then hold the circle button and dive down into the water. Now this game gives you, they're pretty gracious with the oxygen meter, so swim towards these stairs and we'll go all the way up to the top. And then once you get in this room, if you'd like, light the candle, but we're going to swing across again by jumping and pressing L1. Now we will work our way up there in just a second. Run down these stairs, and instead of going straight, light the candle and then turn right. And this is going to lead us to some treasure, and we're going to backtrack. But it's easy to skip this and forget about it. So this is where we just were. We're going to use that same grapple point, but this time we're going to jump across to this treasure chest. Go ahead and grab the goodies, and then we're going to jump across again. And then once you get across, by the way, I feel like this is very easily the best looking Assassin's Creed game. I know that sounds painfully obvious, but I'm playing it on the PS5 Pro, and I'm playing it with the balance setting. I normally really stick to performance mode, 60 frames per second, but the 40 frames with VRR enabled on my C1, and this game is just gorgeous. It is so good looking. Anyway, I'm curious how you guys are finding this game visually, if you like it. Now, as we make our way through here, we're going to get to another body of water, a cave with 2 grapple hooks, and this one is surprisingly tough. So the best way to do this is to grapple to the first grapple point, get some momentum, and then jump, and then hit L1 when it prompts. I missed this probably 4 or 5 times, and it can be frustrating. But once you get across, here is the legendary chest with the goodies. Now, we're not done. Getting out of this Kofun can be challenging, and it can be confusing. So go ahead and grab your loot. By the way, I'm curious if it's randomized. Let me know if you get the same thing I got. I suspect it's randomized, but it might not be. Okay, so when we get back here to the end of the tomb, you're going to crawl up, try to follow the white paint. And it looks like you can crawl up this, but what you want to do is hit L1 and grapple up, and then pull yourself up all the way to the top, but you may have to wiggle yourself left or right to sort of latch onto this ledge. But once you get through there, you're going to head through this passageway. You can see there is some sunlight. We're getting close, and you're going to hop over this, slide down. Now, this is one of the last rooms, but it kind of looks like, yeah, you can refill your tools here. It kind of looks like you should go up here, but in actuality, yeah, you can't really go through that crack. What you're supposed to do is, let me hop down here. If you look over there, there's a explosive jar. I love that there's a target painted on it. It's so funny. Okay, so get one of your projectiles, aim at it, throw it, and that will open up the exit. That is the part where we went through. We crawled through this. This is like the first room that we came into. So we're going to head up this entrance right here. It's actually the exit now. And you'll find your way to the exit. What's up, Assassins? Mark here, and we are exploring another Kofun, this time in the Yawata Plains. And let me go ahead and pull up the map. I want to make sure we're all on the same page here. Now, the interesting thing about this Kofun is you actually need to play as Yasuke. And the reason why is because you need to be able to head over to these explosive pots, pick them up, and throw them. Now, there's another one over here in case you sort of mess up, but also you can refill some of your bullets and arrows right over there in case you need it. Now, let's go ahead and head down, and obviously the entrance is blocked, so let's go ahead and throw the pot near the entryway, and then go ahead and pull out and use the bow or the gun, whichever you'd like, and shoot it, and that will explode the entrance, reduce it to rubble, and then we can go ahead and start exploring inside. Now, when you get into the first chamber, you'll notice there's some goodies we need to loot, but also one of the entryways is blocked. That's actually the exit. We're going to come out of that part later, but for now, let's go ahead and head over here, and let's move this crate out of the way, and this is sort of a sign of things to come. We're going to be moving a bunch of crates in this Kofun. Now, enter this room, you'll notice that there are two entryways that are sort of blocked by rubble. We will take care of those in just a minute. For now, let's head over to this crate and let's sort of just move it out of the way over here. I'm curious what you guys think of the game so far. Is it what you expected? Are you enjoying it? Are you disappointed? I'm really enjoying the game. It took a little while for it to click for me, but I am enjoying it. I miss sort of the mythical aspects from like the previous entries. I really enjoyed that stuff, and I wish there was more of that in here. But I am enjoying switching between the protagonists. Anyway, let's go ahead and pick up this pot here, and you can see there's one of those blocked doorways. So let's go ahead and throw a pot at it, and let's shoot it. And that will give us the opportunity now to get back into that entryway where we originally came from. So go ahead and grab another pot, and we're going to carry it all the way to the other side where that other blocked entryway is. So let's go ahead and head up the stairs here and go ahead and toss the pot in front. Doesn't have to be directly in front of it. The range of the explosives is it's pretty big, so just needs to be kind of near it. And then head down through this hallway, and you can see there's two ways to go. So let's go left first. It's a dead end, but there are goodies at the end of it. So go ahead and grab it. And you know what I like to do in these tombs is I like to light some of the candles just so that, because some of these tombs, they'll loop back on each other, and unfortunately you can get lost. But if you light one of the candles, you know you've already visited it, so it makes it a little easier. Now when you get to this pool of water here, let's go ahead and dive to the bottom. There's a chest to get, so let's go ahead and loot that. And then once you grab all the goodies from that chest, let's swim back up to the top and go to the other side, and that's where we're going to pull ourselves out of the water here. And we're going to work our way around the chamber through this hallway. And when you get to the top, let's go ahead and light this candle here. When you get to the top, you can see that there's another entryway that's blocked, and we have some crates here on the right-hand side. So go ahead and smash those crates, and let me go ahead and show you there. So we're gonna get a pot, and we're gonna throw it over there. Again, it doesn't have to be right in front of the entryway. The splash damage from these pots is it's pretty wide. So let's go ahead and get to the edge here and toss the pot over onto the other side. And then go ahead and shoot it. And now we'll do a really heavy labor jump. We'll get to the other side. Playing as Yasuke is pretty fun. I mean, that guy, he's just a tank. It's pretty awesome. But I love how different you know, his whole playstyle and feel is from Naue. Now, as you head back, it's easy to miss. There is a crawl space here. So let's go ahead and hold the crouch button down. And we are going to crawl through. There we go. And once we're on the other side, let's head down these stairs. And then maybe light some candles if you like. But there's a curious room with a rope on it. So we're just going to ignore the rope. And what we're going to do is we're going to head down to the bottom here. And you can see there's a little hallway to the right. So let's go through the hallway, and there's a crate at the end. Grab this crate, and don't just move it a little bit. We're going to move it all the way to the other side. But before we use that to get up, we're going to head back and get this crate. So let's go grab that crate. And then from here, we're going to head back to the crate that we just moved. And we're going to use that crate to pull ourselves up to get to the other side. Let's go ahead and do that. Now, let's head up these stairs, and kind of want to keep an eye out. Let's light this candle here. Oh, it just fell over. Keep an eye out for this room. Now, this one can be a little confusing, but I'm going to show you exactly what we need to do. So grab this crate right here, and we are going to drag it and move it back behind here. And we're just going to tuck it away over there. So let's get access to this crate. And you can see there's a nice little groove. We're going to move the crate right as far as we can to the right here. Now, before we continue, head into this chamber. And there is a chest we need to loot. So head on down. Oh, wait, no, the chest is not in that room. Let's just head down this sort of watery hallway here. It's kind of creepy. And then head around the corner, and then when you get to the top here, oh, another candle. Let's light another candle. You'll see that there's another crate and another explosive jar. So first things first, let's move these two crates. Now let's grab the jar. So pick it up, and you'll notice it's gonna spit us out into that room, the original room where we were just moving some crates. Go ahead and jump. Well, you don't have to jump. Take the stairs. We don't jump yet. We jump when we get up here. Take the stairs up, and then we're going to hold X and we're going to leap all the way to this far crate that we moved. Now we're going to throw another pot up near that entryway. So go ahead and shoot it, and we're going to do another big, heavy jump. So press forward and hold the X button. Yasuke will pull himself up, and we're getting closer. We're getting closer. So let's go ahead and head down these stairs. And there is our legendary chest. Now, we're not done. We still need to get out of this. Sometimes these chambers can be a little confusing. So I'm curious if you guys, I don't know if this loot, because I'm playing an early copy of this game, I don't know if this loot is randomized or not. So let me know in the comments if you get the same thing that I get. I'm curious about that. Now, let's go ahead and head over and let's move these crates. Just go ahead and pull them out and push them to the side. And we're going to head down this hallway. And there's two ways you can go. But we're going to head up these stairs. And that chamber was where we were. Now we are out. What's up, Assassins? Mark here, and we're working on the ancient tomb of Nanjo, and this is an eagle's nest, and this is a really difficult, confusing tomb. So if you're lost, if you're confused, don't feel bad. I got stuck here for quite a while. So my goal with this guide is to make it very clear, get you through this as quickly as possible, and to show you the proper way on how to get all the goodies, and of course the legendary chest at the very end. So let's go ahead and get started. So in the tomb, as soon as you get in, there's a chest to get. And we're going to go ahead and dive down into this pool of water. By the way, I'm curious what you guys think of the game. Let me know in the comments, particularly with the seasons. Do you think it's cool? Do you like it? I think the inclusion of seasons is pretty awesome, but I want to know what you think. Now, in this first chamber, notice the horse statues up above here. this tomb is sort of horse themed, and you'll notice above that door on the right there are more horse statues, and they are going to be our guides. This pool of water we can ignore. You can see you cannot go that way where the other statue is, but we can go through the door with the horse statues. So let's go ahead and go through there. And I also want to note that I think it's really helpful to light up these candles. The candles will help you navigate the tombs, because sometimes in these tombs, it'll circle you back to a place where you have been. So if you come into a place where the candles are lighted, you know you've already been there. So it is helpful. So in this next little chamber, you notice there's 2 doors. We're going to go through the entryway with the horse above it. So let's work our way down. Don't forget to light these candles along the way. It is helpful. And, a little squirrely here. And so in this next chamber here, basically we're just going to drop down and we're going to work our way across these rocks. So let's go ahead and jump. And it's kind of easy to get, I think, stuck here. But what you want to do is when you get over to this second rock, there are ledges you can jump onto. So go ahead and jump and grab onto them. Basically, you're just going to hold the X button, press forward, and make the leaps. Now, go ahead and drop down, and you'll notice that there are 2 horses above this door. So we know we're going the right way. So let's work our way here, and we're gonna dive down into this pool of water. Well, clumsily fall into this. Hopefully, you're way more graceful than I am. I have a pre-release copy of the game, so I don't know if it's a bug or what, but I sometimes have trouble crawling out of the water. Are you guys getting that too? Curious. Anyway, go through the crawl space. Don't forget to admire the geese down below. And it doesn't matter which stairs you take. They all lead to the same spot. But we're going to work our way through this hallway here. And this corridor will spit us out into another open room with a body of water. So if you fall in the water, no big deal. Down there, you can crawl and get up. But if you're up here, stick to the right. We're going to jump over to these rocks, and we're just going to climb ourselves up to the top. And notice more horse statues. Good. So we're on the right track. Light the candle, and let's continue into the next chamber. Now, this room... This is the room that messed me up quite a bit. Before I noticed the theme with the horse statues, I went left instead of right here, and it spits you back out towards the beginning, and it's just all confusing. But if you look up to the right here, you'll notice that there are some horse statues. So we're going to go through this entryway here, and that is going to spit us into... It's going to spit us out into another slidey slope, and then we're going to work our way down into another chamber with water. And we are going to work our way over to the left here, but first let's turn right and let's climb up these rocks here. And as we climb these rocks, we're going to get towards the top here. Let's loop around, just follow this wood here, those wood panels, and we're going to leap across. And then so that's where we're headed on the left there. That's the final exit. But we're going to work our way up here and squeeze ourselves first. We're going to go get this extra loot here. So let's open up this chest. Let's get some goodies. And then we're going to work our way, shimmy through the crack. And then to the right here, you can look, there's a prompt to grapple. So let's go ahead and let's jump and hit L1. And we're going to grapple across to the other side. Now, you'll notice more horse statues. Good. We're headed the right direction. So this is another spot that it can be kind of confusing. So there's nothing else back here, but if you go all the way up, there's a body of water. Ignore the water. If you look to the left and look up, there are horse statues up top. So we know we need to get up there, and they don't clearly mark it, but you can climb these rocks here on the left. So let's work our way up, and nothing else in this room. No hidden goodies or anything. So let's work our, you can see there's our final destination there. If you squeeze L2. We're going to work our way up the stairs. You can see the white marks on the walls. You can see the horses. This is also another, if you don't know what you're looking for, is another easy way to sort of get turned around and spit back to like the beginning of this tomb. So let's loot the chest, and essentially, we're going to go through the entryway with the 2 horses. Don't head this direction. It's bad news. There's just a slide, and it'll set you back quite a bit. So let's light the candle, and let's head through the entryway with the horses. And it's almost like the horse is pointing the direction for us. So we're going to follow these stairs all the way up. And as we walk through the next chamber, you notice there's a crawl space. Let's go ahead and go through the crawl space. More horses. Somebody really liked horses. Now, this is the chamber where I was scratching my head because it looks so familiar and it looks a lot like one of the beginning chambers, but it's not. We're in a new place. They purposely designed it, I think, to make it sort of look similar to some of the other areas. It is a confusing tomb to navigate. But let's hop over here, and if you look, there's a prompt to grapple. So let's go ahead and jump and hit L1, swing across, and then release while you have momentum, and that for sure will spit you out onto the ledge. So let's go ahead and vault over this rock, and we're going to work. We're getting close now. We're getting really close. And you can see there's a little crack for us to shimmy through, and that will get you to the legendary chest with the legendary goodies. But we're not done. We need to get out of here. Getting out of here can also be a little confusing. So let's go ahead and let's go around the tomb here, and we're going to go to the other side. And this might look familiar. This is where we were looking at before, right when we started the tomb. So go ahead and jump down into the water, and we're going to take these stairs and climb up the stairs, and then we're going to go through this corridor once again. And when you get up here, let's jump to this rock. When you get to the top, it's easy to miss this, but there's a grapple. You hit L1. There's a grapple point. So go ahead and hit L1, bring yourself up, and you can jump over to this ledge, and then that will get you close to the entrance. We just need to shimmy through here, and then we are back outside. What's up, Assassins? Mark here, and we are trying to explore another Kofun, and this one's tricky. This one's fun, but it's tricky because it's in a fort. So I recommend clearing out as much of the fort as you can first. And you have to play as Yasuke. So if you're Naue and you're inside the fort, you have to leave the fort to switch over and then come back. Now, as Yasuke, look around and you should find one of these red pots. So we're going to go ahead and walk over, pick it up, and we're going to go head to the entrance here, and you can see it's sort of blocked here by this stone. So go ahead and toss it. It's not going to explode. Give it a good toss, and then take out your bow or your gun and just shoot it, and that will open it up for us. So I'm curious what you guys think of this game so far. Are you enjoying it? Are you experiencing the seasons yet? Because the seasons are they're really cool, actually. They're cooler than I thought they would be. By the way, in this tomb, there are enemies. You're going to have to take them out, unlike some of the other tombs, which are completely void of life. So go ahead and take out all these guys. There are more guys you're going to have to fight deeper into the Kofun, but for now, let's go ahead and focus on going through these bamboo shoots and go all the way down this corridor. And by the way, don't forget to light candles here and there. Candles are good because they kind of mark where you have been. So if you ever have to return back somewhere, if you see a lighted candle, you know, oh, I've been here. Okay, because some of them kind of turn you around and spit you out into a room you've already been in. Now, let's go ahead, and there's a crawl space here, so let's go ahead and hold down the crouch button, and you'll see there's kind of a hidden room. It's really easy to miss this, but turn left, and you will see that there is a chest over here. So let's go ahead and grab that chest. We don't want to miss any of them. We got to get all the goodies. So once you get that, we're going to head back through the crawl space, but this time we're going to turn left, and there is an enemy, so be prepared to take him out. And once we take him out, there's much more to explore. I'm also curious what you guys think of the two protagonists. Their play styles are very, very different, and I'm curious who you prefer, because I'm wondering if some players actually prefer Yasuke and the playstyle just because they want to break up and try something totally new in this series. Now, you saw that door back there. It's completely blocked. There's some enemies here, so let's go ahead and take them out. Run past that blocked door. Keep going. And what we're looking for is this little chamber here. You can refill your arrows, bullets, but grab one of these explosive pots. And we're going to carry it all the way back to that blocked entryway here. So go ahead and toss it. They won't explode. So go ahead and just toss it. And then go ahead and shoot it with your bow or gun. And then once you do that, it's going to open up another corridor for us to go through. So let's go ahead and head down this corridor. And we're going to turn to the left here. And there's another crawl space. So let's go ahead and crawl through here. And then when we get to the top of the stairs, you kind of look around. Now there is another way to go here. You don't want to go straight just yet because there's a chest down here and a dead end. So let's go ahead and go all the way down here. I'm also a little bummed that I understand they wanted to go with a more grounded approach with this game, and I do like that aspect, but I kind of miss some of the mystical beasts and the charm that Odyssey and Origins had. It was just a lot of fun. Valhalla had that too, and I kind of wish they would have done that a little more here. Anyway, your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear it. When we get into this room, let's go ahead and move this crate right over there. Refill your rations if needed. And then we're going to run down this corridor, and to the right, you'll see there's another crate. So there is a chest behind it, but we'll get to that in just a second. Take this crate, and we're going to push it all the way down. So this one can be kind of tricky. I noticed I had a hard time getting it down this corridor, so you may have to push it to the left or the right. It would get hung up on the rocks for me sometimes. So if that's happened to you, just push the grate left or right and then push forward. You should be able to get it through here. Now, once you set the crate right there, let's head back. Let's get that crate. And, oh, excuse me. No, it's not a crate. That's right. It's an explosive pot. That's right. So let's grab the pot. There will be more chests for us to get. Grab the pot. We're going to go ahead and head up these stairs. And we're going to jump from crate to crate, and then we're going to lob this thing. Well, you can throw it from here, but you have to jump up here to shoot it. And the first 2 times I did this, once I got hit, once I didn't. Doesn't do a ton of damage. Well, that time I got hit. Well, one time I was able to avoid damage. It doesn't do that much damage. It's just kind of annoying. Anyway, head through this entryway and another crawl space. So let's go and crawl through. And then let's go ahead and light another candle. And so there's some more bad guys up here. So let's go ahead and take these guys out. And then once you take them out, we're almost there. Once you take them out, kind of scan the room a little bit. And you can see an explosive jar up there, and there's also another one up there, but we have a blocked entryway here. So let's go ahead and climb up. And there's several pots in the room. I just decided to get this one just because it's fun to jump with explosives in this game. Let's go ahead and take the pot. We're going to throw it. You know the drill. Let's go ahead and hit it. And so beyond this door, you can see there's an explosive pot. And you can see there's treasure up there. I'm going to show you how to get that treasure in just a second. Let's go ahead and loot this chest. Good. Now, I'm wondering if you guys get the same thing I got. Did you get the Death Bloom bow? I'm wondering if it's randomized. Because I got an early copy of this game, I'm not really sure if the legendary loot is randomized. Anyway, we're going to head up here, find a pot, and then take it. And the way to get up that slope is back. We have to backtrack down this hallway, look for the dead body on the ground here, but that will mark where there is another sealed entryway. So go ahead and drop the pot. We're going to shoot it, and that'll go ahead and open up the entryway for us. And then go ahead and make your way through. And there is one more chest we need to grab. So go up these stairs, loop around, And it's straight ahead. So let's go ahead and loot this chest. And then we get to do a little Tony Hawk down this slide. Okay, and so there's the legendary chest. Let's go ahead and run past this chest, do another slide, and in here, it might not look familiar, but that was one of the earlier rooms we were in. We're going to go ahead and run straight ahead, and don't turn right, back there, and then we're going to take this corner, keep following this corridor all the way down, and as you go up these stairs, it'll lead you to the entryway. Hey Assassins, Mark here, and we are working on the Veiled Tumulus, and I'm pretty sure I'm not pronouncing that correctly, but nonetheless, let me go ahead and bring up the map so we can make sure we're all on the same page here. Now, I'm curious what you guys think of the game so far. Are you enjoying it? Is it living up to your expectations? I'm curious what you think about the weather system too, and the seasonal changes and what that brings to the environment. I think it's really cool, but I'm curious what you think. So let me know in the comments. Now, as we get in here, there's actually two parts that I think are pretty tricky, and one of them stumped me for quite a while. So if it stumped you, don't feel bad. It is pretty tricky. So once you get into the first chamber, there are 3 guards in here, and we're going to go ahead and take them out. Now, once you take them out, however you please, we're going to head sort of to the side here and climb up these rocks here. And then there's 3 more structures that we can go ahead and hop on to get across the way. And then we're going to get up into this corridor here. And then as we go down, you'll see that the entryway is sort of blocked, but there's an explosive pot right next to it. So just hit it with any projectile and it will explode, and that will get us into the next chamber. Now, I think this next one, this is the part that kind of stumped me. If I'm being honest, it stumped me for quite a while. So if it stumped you, we're all in the same boat. But let me go ahead and show you how you can tell that there's a place we can shimmy through right down there. Well, what you need to do is climb up these rocks, and it's really easy to miss. But if you need to, you could fill up your tools here, but there's a little opening over here to the side, and if you look at it just right, there's an explosive pot down there. So just hit that with any projectile, and what that will do is it'll explode, and it's going to open up the way for us down below to get through that crack. So let's go ahead and head down there, and then we got to loot, of course, but let's go ahead and shimmy through here. And now we can work our way through this tomb. So when you come in here, it looks like there's a bunch of stuff we can do. But really, it looks like you can climb here and there, but it's kind of a straight path. So let's go ahead and hop onto these rocks, grab this chest. And then as I turn around, the way to continue is kind of to the left here. So let's go back onto those rocks, and then look to the left, and then jump straight ahead to these stairs. And then when you get onto these stairs, we're going to climb all the way up to the top. Now, I like to light some of these candles along the way, because some of these tombs will spit you back out into a chamber that you've already been in, and it's kind of helpful that if the candles are lit, you know that you've already been there. So it's not foolproof, but it does definitely help. So let's go ahead and refill our tools. And then let's go down this corridor here. And we're going to work our way to the left, and then we're in another sort of big chamber. Now, there are some guards down below, so go ahead and get rid of them whichever way you please. And then once you get rid of them, you can see that there's an entryway, but up top there's an explosive pot, and then there's a blocked doorway. Well, the first thing we want to do is throw a projectile at that explosive pot first. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to climb up there, and up top there's a crawl space. So let's go ahead and hold the crouch button, and let's crawl through. Once we're on the other side, let's go ahead and slide down into this corridor. And then we're going to work our way over and grab this chest. We can't forget the goodies. We got to get the goodies, right? So go ahead and grab the goodies from this chest. And you'll notice that there is another explosive pot that someone thankfully left and put right by this entryway that is blocked. So go ahead and hit it with the projectile, and then we're going to shimmy through. And then once we get on the other side, we're going to go straight through that entryway. And then once we get down here, it's also, you know, they don't make it super apparent where to go, at least maybe for some people. So you're going to climb up these rocks and work your way around, and then we're going to climb up this structure here to the very top. And then once you get to the top, you'll notice that there's an opening here with another pot. So let's go ahead and hit it, and that's going to open up the way for us here on the left. So let's go ahead and walk through. Not much to do here. No chests or anything. So let's go ahead and hop up here and head down this corridor. And then there's another crawl space. So let's go ahead and hold the crouch button. Now there's a bunch of enemies in here. So let's go ahead and get rid of them as quickly as possible. And then once you get rid of them, then we have full access to a legendary chest. Now I don't know if the loot is randomized. I'm curious if you got exactly what I got. If you did or didn't, let me know in the comments. I'm playing this pre-release, so I don't have anything else to compare it to. So I would be interested in knowing. Now we're not done. We got to get out of here. So now go ahead and head up, and we're going to hit that explosive there, and that'll remove the crate for us. And then we're going to go ahead and hop down here. And as you can see, there's another explosive pot. So let's go ahead and get on the other side of the room. And let's go ahead and hit it. And those rocks are actually supposed to be disappearing, I think, a little faster because it looked like it was blocking that. But anyway, let's go ahead and go through, and then let's go ahead and open up this door, and this will get us back into the entryway. That is where the guards were that we killed initially in the beginning. Don't forget to like and subscribe, folks. It does help me out quite a bit. Thanks for checking out my video. What's up, Assassins? Mark here, and we're running through another Kofun, this time in Azuchi, and this is a fun one, but you must note that you actually have to play as Yusuke for this tomb. Let me pull up the map. I want to make sure we're all on the same page here. And as soon as you get into the tomb, you'll notice there's an explosive pot here. So go ahead and shoot it, and that's going to open up this wall for us to loot this chest. Now don't worry, that pot should respawn if it doesn't run out of the tomb and come back. It should be here. Let's go ahead and pick it up. We're going to get a little 2-for-1 special here, and we're going to throw the pot at the door and then shoot it, and it'll take out both the bad guy and the door. Did you notice how the pot actually took off like 25% of his health? That was pretty awesome. Okay, so let's go ahead and go into the tomb. Now, I think it's helpful if you light some of these candles so you know which corridors and which rooms you have visited. Sometimes, you know, they have braziers that are already lighted, but it can be helpful. So when you get to this chamber, we're going to go right, we're going to slide down Tony Hawk style, and we're going to work our way down this corridor. And it's interesting because this, even though this is one of the smaller tombs, it is kind of easy to get lost in these tombs because they don't really have a map system. So don't feel bad if you get lost in some of the tombs, especially the smaller ones, because they're pretty confusing. So grab this crate, and we're going to push it all the way to the right. Let's go ahead and climb up top, and we're gonna go ahead and leap. There's nothing else in here, so let's go ahead and leap up here into this entryway, and let's work our way down. And this Kofun does have like mercenaries or outlaws in it, so you kind of have to be careful, but I'll give you a heads up when we're approaching those. So go ahead and grab this crate, and we're gonna move it, essentially we're gonna move it towards the middle here. If it gets stuck on stuff, you may have to grab it from like a different angle and shimmy it around. So if it gets stuck, just try that. Now before we move on, let's go ahead and grab this chest first. That's why we brought the crate all the way over to the side. And let's go ahead and loot this chest. And then once we got the goodies there, let's go ahead and hop down. And then we're going to grab this crate again. And let's sort of move it basically right next to that small crate right there. It's about as far as it will go over. And what we're going to do is get to the top, and we want to hop all the way over there and lumber Yasuki cracks me up the way he jumps. So there are some outlaws in this room, so quickly dispatch them. And we're gonna take the corridor with the stairs. That is where we came from. So we're not gonna go there. We're gonna head up these stairs, and then we get to the top. You notice there are some explosive pots here. So let's go ahead and grab one of those. And if you can, throw it on top of those crates on the other side. You could try to aim for the door. It didn't really work for me. Maybe it'll work for you. But I ended up it seemed easier and worked more easily for me to throw them on these crates. Now climb up top. You don't need to pick it up and throw it. You can actually just pick it up and then press forward and hit the X button. And Yasuki should just jump up there. Now, for the second room, you can see the corridor is blocked up ahead. So we need to get the explosive pot up there. So go ahead and drop it. Let's fall down. Let's grab this crate right here. So go ahead and grab it. And we're going to move it all the way to the right. And then you'll notice there's another explosive pot. But don't grab that one. We need that pot to remain there because there's actually a little tiny... There's a chest, a tiny room right next to it. So we got to destroy that rubble. So go ahead and shoot that pot however you please. And then let's go ahead and jump down there. And take the pot and throw it. There you go. Now before we do anything else, well, we could shoot it now, but before we do anything else, let's hop down and let's loot this chest. And let's get our goodies that we worked so hard for. All right, now let's work our way around again. Now you can see there's a meter, and there are some bad guys. So you can take them out like I did with a ranged weapon, or you could hop over there and smash them. It's totally up to you. Once you cross over, there were three thugs for me. So once you get past them, you should come into the room with the legendary chest. Now, I'm curious if you get the same loot that I got, because I don't know if it's randomly generated or not. I got this game pre-release, so I don't have any references to check, but I'm curious if you got the same legendary bow that I got. Now, we're not done. We need to get out. So go ahead and run up these stairs. And you'll notice there is a crate leaning up against the wall here. So let's go and grab this crate. We're going to move it. And go ahead and push it to the side. You can see there's a crawl space. So let's go ahead and hold the crouch button. Let's crawl through. And that is how we exit the Kofun. What's up, Assassins? Mark here, and we're working on the Monolithic Vault. It is another Kofun, and this one's a lot of fun. But let me go ahead and pull up the map. I want to make sure we're all on the same page here. I'm curious what you guys think of this game so far. I'm curious if it's living up to your expectations, if it's not. Something to note, you do need to play as Yasuke for this Kofun. There are a lot of crates we're going to be pushing around and moving that are sort of vital to the environment and getting around it. But I'm curious what you guys think of the game. I'm enjoying it so far. I wish there were more mystical elements to it, like in Odyssey and Valhalla, but nonetheless, I think it's a really fun game. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to drop down this hole, and we're going to watch Yasuke swim. He's just funny the way he lumbers around and swims and pulls himself up over ledges. So we're going to end up jumping that gap up there. So let's go ahead and take this corridor and go all the way up these stairs. One thing I like to do in these Kofuns is I like to light the candles, and it'll mark where you have been, because sometimes what happens with these Kofuns is it'll spit you back into a place you've already been. And you know that if the candles are lighted, you know that you've probably already been there. So just important to note. Now we do need to get up there. You could see that there are some crates over there, but we can't get to them. So let's go back over here into this entryway. Let's vault over this rock, and we're going to crawl through this space here at the bottom. Once we're over here, let's move the larger crate here. Actually, I think they're both the same size. Go ahead and grab the one on the right. We're going to move the crate all the way to the side here so we can get access. Oh, no, this is the smaller crate. Okay, so we're going to grab the smaller crate, pull it back. Now, if it gets stuck on the walls, just shimmy it left or right, and you should be able to get it through that corridor there. Now follow these white lines, and we're going to push the crate all the way against the wall here. Now once you do that, now we can head... Well, first we want to go get this treasure. So head back here, get the goodies. Once you get those goodies, we're going to head back into this room, and we're going to use that crate so that we could jump up here to this entryway. Now, once we vault up, light the candle if you'd like. We're going to head down into this corridor. This one is pretty... I mean, there's a couple sections that are kind of confusing. I got stuck in here, so if you got stuck too, don't feel bad. It is sort of confusing, and it's an interesting choice they made where you don't have a map inside these Kofuns, so it's really easy to sort of get lost. So yeah, it is kind of tricky. Now when you head back into this room, there's a little chest, but it's hidden behind all these pots. So let's go ahead and destroy all these pots. Let's get the goodies. We don't want to leave any goodies behind. And once you do that, sure, let's light the candle. And then we'll head back to where we were. And we need to make a big, gigantic leap with Yasuke here. I don't know why, but it cracks me up watching him sort of lumber and pull himself up and grunt and groan. But when you get to this section, I'm going to head right because I just want to show you guys that if you go all the way down here, you will notice that the door is barred. You can't open it. There's nothing you could do. Light the candle to sort of mark that we have been there, but that is normal. And the way to get around that is we head back here. We jumped from over there. You have to go up these stairs, and this is the correct direction to go. I don't know if you guys have seen it or not, but if you're playing as Yasuke and you jump off of a really high point and you do a leap of faith into a haystack, if you haven't done it, I have a video on it, but if you're in the game, do it because it's hilarious, his reaction. Anyway, and by the way, to get him to the top of a building, just fast travel to any kind of viewpoint. That's how you get him up there, because he doesn't really climb that well. Anyway, when we get down into this section, let's take this smaller crate and let's move it out of the way. And the reason why we're doing that is so we can get behind that other crate in order to get out of this chamber here. So let's go ahead and get behind this crate. We're going to pull it back. Now we can push the other smaller crate where we need it to go, which is up against the wall, so we can climb it and get up top. So let's go ahead and go back to this smaller crate, and let's grab it. We're going to push it. Now we can get it past this area. Also, I am curious who you guys are playing as in this game. Do you prefer Yasuke? I mean, it is kind of nice that they have completely different play styles. But I'm wondering how many people actually play as Yasuke. So you can see we need to get up there, and I didn't fast forward it through this point because it can be a little tricky. I've done this a couple times, and when you get to this point, you kind of have to press down on the left stick and then up. But there was another time where I did it and I didn't have to do that. So I don't know if it's buggy or what, but if you get stuck back there, just know that when you're crawling, you may have to press up and down on the left stick. Now, when we get to this chamber, you can see we jumped across that broken bridge down there. So go ahead and hop over and across. And when we get to the other side, we're going to make our way around. There is another entryway here. So let's go ahead and go up here. And you get to this really interesting room. I was trying to figure out the theme or what's going on here with all the light shining on all these golden discs in this tomb. And, I don't know if it has a historical reference to something. But if you know, maybe it's just like a nod to Tomb Raider. I'm not quite sure, but I find it interesting. But there's a crawl space in this room. What we're going to do is we're going to go through here, and it's really the only thing we could do. So once we get back here, you're going to have to make a leap, a big, heavy, lumbering leap, and then you'll notice as we climb up here, you'll see that there's a sort of a slant. There's a slide right here. We're going to avoid. Don't go down there. That's the room we were just in. Head to the back where this treasure chest is, and this is the part where you could get stuck very easily. If you look through this hole, you'll see there's an explosive pot. So let's go ahead and shoot that with any projectile you like. And what that's going to do is that's going to open up that entryway that was blocked by a bunch of rocks. So now we can head back and we can go down Tony Hawk style down here, and now we're back in this room with all the statues. And so now we can go ahead and move this crate, and we can just kind of get it out of the way here. And then we're going to go ahead and go up the stairs. And when we get up the stairs, there is the legendary chest that we want. Now, I'm curious. I'm going to show you how to get out of this chamber. But also, do you guys... I don't know if the loot is randomized. Did you get what I got? It's interesting. I don't know if they have dedicated certain loot to certain Kofuns or what. So please let me know. What's up, Assassins? Mark here, and we're working on another Kofun, but this time in the Suka Rocks Basin. And let me go and pull up the map. I'm going to make sure we're all on the same page here. Now, I don't want to leave anybody behind. I want to be very clear and concise about how to navigate this Kofun, because it's really tricky, and there's a lot of grappling and sliding, and it's really easy to get lost and confused. So I'm going to try to quickly, but try to explain very easily how to get through all this stuff. So let's go ahead and get started. By the way, I am curious what you guys think of this game. I'd love to hear your comments. I'm really enjoying it. It was kind of a slow burn for me at first, but I'm really enjoying the game now. I do wish there was a little more of a mythical aspect to it, but it is such a gorgeous game on the PlayStation 5 Pro. Anyway, let's get started with this part. So we're going to leap down. So if you press forward and hit the X button, you should jump pretty safely down to these little platforms here. And we're going to work our way across, and you'll notice when we get to the end here of this platform, you can grapple. So go ahead and hit L1 when you get the prompt. By the way, I like to light candles along the way so that it's kind of a marker, so that, because some of these tombs will spit you out back into a room you've already been to. And so if you light these candles, it kind of makes it a little easier. So just like old times, we're going to press forward and hit the X button, and we're going to just hop along these beams here. And then when we get to the other side, we're going to go through this crawl space and just run up this slope here. And it kind of looks like that you might have to do something else, but it's just a good old-fashioned run. Now, we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to press forward, hold the X button, and we're just going to jump from these little tiny platforms to each other. And when we get to the other side, light the candle if you like. We're going to vault over that rock, and if you look around here, you can see there is a grapple point up there. So you may have to run and jump. You might be able to just grapple from here, but pretty sure you just press forward, hit the X button, and then grapple along the way. Same here. We're just going to grapple over here, and we're going to go ahead and move to the other side. Now, as we get to this chamber, this part can be really tricky. So here's what I did to sort of navigate this. It could be frustrating. You want to move all the way to the left side of this slope here, and then press forward. And as you slide, you want to jump towards that beam. So right about, in my game, is right about when that shadow ends, and you jump towards the beam, and you should be, you may have to do it a couple times. Down below, if you fall, you can also, there's some rocks you could hop on. So there's a couple different ways to do it, but that's sort of the easiest way that I found to do it for me. Now we're going to grapple across to these platforms. And then when you jump to this pole, there's another grapple point. So let's go ahead and press forward, hold the X button, and just hit L1. And when you get to the other side, we're gonna head up this slope again. This is probably the most Tomb Raider-y Kofun so far, but it's a lot of fun. I do like it. I'm glad they added in these tombs. It's fun to sort of try and figure them out. You want to go down that slope. I don't know why I jumped onto it, but it's, you know how these games are. They're very touchy sometimes. So this is the really tricky chamber. You can see there's a grapple point right over here. So what we're going to do is we're going to slide down and then wait till you see that prompt. Now, you could just mash the L1 button, but I had to jump and then hit the L button for that to work for me. So it may work for you where you can just mash L1, but I did have to jump. Now, when we get to this platform, first I want to pan around and show you. It's beautiful, isn't it? It's such a beautiful game. But there's a chest over there. We're going to get that chest before we leave this chamber. But the good news, that chest is kind of on the way. So there's a grapple point up top here. So let's go ahead and jump and grapple across the way. Now we get to the other side. This is probably the trickiest part of this entire Kofun. But loot this chest. Now, this part is tricky, but if you just walk up and slide down this slope, when you're about halfway down, jump again and mash the L button to grapple. And as you grapple, you kind of want to stop. Now, if you look at the bottom here, you can toggle ascend and descend by hitting L1. You don't hold it, just press L1. And now, watch, it will change the left stick directions. You can ascend and descend. So we're going to descend with the left stick now that we're in ascend mode. Then once we get to where we want, which is about right there, hit L1 again. Now we can toggle swinging. So we're going to swing back and forth so we can get the right momentum to jump. Now, you can climb on those rocks, but one time I fell off. One time I wouldn't grab the rocks. It was just kind of frustrating. I found that to be the easiest way to get through that. Now, when we get to the other side of this platform, yes, that is the way we go to exit, but we want to get that chest first. So let's climb up this rock here, and you can see you just follow the white sort of scratches on the rocks, and that'll lead us to this chest. Now, head over to the next grapple point right here. We don't have to do all the climbing again. We can just grapple our way to the other side. Let's go ahead and do that. And we're getting close. We're getting close. So let's go ahead and climb up these rocks. We're going to work our way up over here. Is another grapple point. Let's take that grapple point. And this is another place where I'm going to admit I got kind of stuck here a little bit because there's all this white paint leading the way, but you want to jump up and continue to go up here. I mean, I was looking all around trying to find a place to grab onto, but it's right there. So let's go ahead and press forward and hit the X button. You should grab onto that little ledge there. And let's keep working our way up and then across to the final chamber. And in here, you will find the legendary chest. I went ahead and lit up all the candles because it looks cool. Okay, so when you get to this, let me get you out of this. Now, once you loot this legendary chest, did you get the same thing I got? Let me know in the comments. I want to know if we got the same thing. Work your way to the back area of this chamber. And as we run over and through this chamber, you will notice kind of a familiar area. You can see we lit that candle. And that is how you get through it. What's up, Assassins? Mark here, and we are working on the Charsuriyama Kofun. And I'm pretty sure I did not say that correctly, but I tried. Let me go and pull up the map. I want to make sure we're all on the same page here. Now, this Kofun's interesting. There's something that happens in this Kofun that is kind of a mystery. So I'm hoping that maybe some of you will have answers in the comments for me. But let's go ahead and get started here. So this Kofun it can be fairly straightforward, but it's got some moments that could sort of be confusing. So I'm going to show you how to get through this as quickly as possible. Also, I'm curious what you guys think of the game. I'd like to know, is it living up to your expectations? Do you enjoy the seasons? Like, to me, the seasons are way more interesting than I thought they would be. Anyway, once we do our leap of faith, let's go ahead and get ourselves out of the water here. We're going to jump and make our way across this chamber. Go ahead and use the grapple hook here and swing across to the next chamber. Let's vault over this rock, and we're going to leap over into the middle of this. This is pretty much classic Assassin's Creed stuff. And press and hold the crouch button so we can crawl through that crawl space there. And then we're going to use our grappling hook and jump over, and we'll follow the white paint, as it were, and we're going to go all the way to the left here. And then we're going to go ahead and drop down right about here. And now we're going to work our way over to another grappling spot. So let's go ahead and jump and hit L1. And we'll swing across here. And then when we make it into this chamber, let's go ahead and jump onto the rope. There's no treasure to be found really anywhere below us here, so let's make our way over, and I'm gonna speed it up here because we're just kind of vaulting over some rocks. Now there is a crawl space over here on the left, and there is a treasure in this little room, so let's go ahead and grab that. I'm also curious which character you guys like to play as. Who do you prefer? I love Naoe. I think her mechanics and her play style would definitely suit my needs more, but I do like playing as Yasuke. He's way more interesting than I thought he would be. Okay, so look for this little space. Let's squeeze through it. And that's going to get us into this chamber. Now, grappling here could be a little bit of an issue. Several times I have hit some rocks, but you kind of just need to either adjust. You could ascend or descend by hitting the L button while you're grappling. And that's how you can go up and down and ascend, descend. But I didn't really need to do that much. Just swing here and jump. And the next one is where I had a little bit of an issue, but I don't know if you hit the rock like I did. But if that happens to you, just start swinging back and forth again, or just try to jump onto this rock. There you go. And let's go ahead and climb up here. Now, this is the room with the really interesting artifact. Now, it might be mission related and I'm just not following, or maybe I'm here too soon. I'm not quite sure.
This box belonged to a former assassin, but it's
a former assassin, and it's meant for someone else. So if you know what that's all about, please let me know in the comments. I'm very curious what that means, because that box looks a lot like the box that we're trying to get in the very beginning of the game. So it's got to be related, but I'm not totally sure yet. At least in my current playthrough, it doesn't seem relevant. Okay, let's work our way up the slope here. And when you get to the top, at the very, very top, you should see the legendary chest. There it is. Now, we're not done. It can kind of be tricky trying to leave this Kofun too. So let's go ahead and hop up this ledge here. Let's go all the way down here to the end. Hop down, and you want to go up. So you could go that way, but that's not the direction. We want to go up the stairs through this space. Let's squeeze on through. And this is the original starting chamber. So let's go up the stairs one more time. And once we curve around here, you should see daylight. What's up, Assassin's Mark here, and we're working on the Shimosato Kofun, and it's probably the last tomb that you will do. And let me go and pull up the map. I'm gonna make sure we're all on the same page here. But this one is kind of confusing. It's easy to get lost. And I'm going to show you how to quickly get through this Kofun, get to the end, get the legendary chest. So you must be playing as Yasuke. There's a bunch of crates that we're going to have to move. And once you move this crate to the side, we're going to go down into the first chamber. It is an interesting design choice, isn't it, that they did not include maps for the tombs. You kind of have to navigate it in your head. And I'll be honest, in this first chamber, I got lost for a little bit. I was stuck trying to figure out where to go. If you got stuck too, don't feel bad. Now you can see through this crack, there is the legendary chest. So they're teasing us right out of the gate, but that's okay. We're going to go back into that first chamber. I like to light the candles sometimes, just because if you get lost, it's kind of a marker so you know if you've already been there. Now go ahead and swim down by holding in the circle button, and you'll find an entryway. We're going to swim through this corridor. And if you go all the way to the end, you should find some stairs. Let's swim up, and that will spit us out into another corridor. So let's go ahead and head down here. And in this chamber, you'll notice that one of the entryways is blocked, and then the other one, there is an unmovable crate. So we can't do anything with that crate, not yet. But there is an explosive pot. So go ahead and pick up that explosive pot. We're going to head right over to where that rubble is here in the entryway. Toss it, and let's go ahead and shoot it with whatever projectile you like. And that'll go ahead and open it up for us. And then you're going to see that there's a pool of water. So let's go ahead and swim through this water. And it's easy to get sort of lost here. But on the left, you'll see that there's an entryway. Let's swim through this corridor. And, I'm kind of curious what you guys think of this game so far. If you're, like, nearing end game, I'm curious which character you've kind of stuck with. I mean, I've been playing with... I've played with Yasuke quite a bit. I like him more than I thought I would. And I definitely appreciate that they have different play styles. Because it's kind of nice that you can just kind of bull rush through people and smash things around. Okay, so when we get to this part, you will see that there is a crack and you can see an explosive pot. So go ahead and shoot that pot. And what that's going to do is that's going to open up that blocked entryway for us. So let's head over to the entryway here. And then we're going to work our way down this little squatty space here. We're going to crawl through it. And then, no need to crouch there. I don't know why I was crouching. You'll notice in this area, you can actually refill your projectiles. So it's a good idea to do that. But here are the crates that we saw earlier that we could not move. So let's go ahead and move these out of the way. And the reason why is we want to get that explosive pot that's on the other side. There it is. So that's the explosive pot we initially picked up. So let's go ahead and pick it up and take it over to that entryway that is blocked. And we're going to toss this pot near the door and go ahead and shoot it. And then that'll open up that entryway for us. So let's head up these stairs now. And this game really surprised me. Actually, what really surprised me is the seasons. I didn't think I would care about the seasons as much as I do, but I really am enjoying the effect that the seasons have on the environments. And I don't mean like necessarily gameplay, but I mean, yeah, there are some gameplay differences, but it's just beautiful. It's really cool to see the same area, but blanketed in snow, or while it's raining, or leaves swirling all around. I don't know. I'm really impressed by the weather system in this game. It's a lot of fun. Okay, so when we get up to this platform, don't forget to grab this chest over here and open it up. There's some goody loots, and then we're going to hop back, and then you can look to your right. Ignore that. We're not going to go through there, but we are going to go through this entryway. And let's go ahead and work our way down here. And we'll go down this slope, and then in this area here, you could see we were here earlier, but we were down below, right down there. So let's keep pressing forward, and nothing to get or see here on the right, but we're going to go through this corridor on the left, and let's go ahead and vault over this and slide down. And then we get over here to the side. You could see there's a huge pool of water down below, but if you look across the way, there's a treasure, and we're going to go get that treasure right now. It's not the legendary chest, but this one's easy to miss. So when you dive by holding the circle button, there's two ways you can go. We want to go through this entryway down on the floor and go ahead and swim all the way through it, come up, and this will get us on our way to that treasure. Let's go ahead and work your way up with Yasuke. Yasuke cracks me up the way he struggles to pull himself up on things. It's just great. Have you guys done a leap of faith with Yasuke yet? It is hilarious. If you have not done it, because he can't really climb very well, so you have to fast travel to a high point and then have him do a leap of faith, into a haystack or something. And his reaction, if you haven't done it yet, I'm not going to spoil it, but you should definitely do it because it's funny. Anyway, we're going to swim into this other chamber, and let's go ahead and pull ourselves out. And if you look around, there's not much we can do in here. So let's go ahead and press forward into the next chamber. And there is a chest, and we can go right here. So let's go ahead and open up this chest. Let's get some more goodies. And in this next chamber, we're gonna have to do some moving. So let's first things first. Let's go ahead and grab this explosive pot, throw it over by this rubble, and then we're gonna go ahead and shoot it with whatever projectile you like. And that will reveal a crate. So let's go ahead and grab this crate. We're gonna move it all the way to the other side, and that will allow us to climb up and go into the next chamber. I'm also curious what you guys think of the mission and the discoverability of this game. Like, are you enjoying the flow of the game? It's probably one of the things I kind of don't like about the game. I do wish there was a little more direction, because it kind of feels a little aimless, but I know that's part of the design choice. I know that's what they want, but I'm not sure I really like it. Okay, go ahead and shoot this pot as well. But I'm curious what you guys think about that. Plus, I wish there was a little more mysticism to it all. By the way, this is the very first chamber we were in, and you can see we want to go left and up these stairs. Anyway, don't forget to like and subscribe, folks. That does help me out quite a bit. Thanks for checking out my video.
I.Eat.Games, yeah.